everyone, and thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to do checking on crude oil WTI, having a look at what happened last week, quote report, and see what could be ahead of us for the coming week, as it might actually turn to be quite interesting. Looking at the price action for last week, so we could see that we had that rising wedge I was looking at for quite a while. Was building up like this here, up to roughly 41, and then we had that big breakdown. I believe that was on Thursday, on the large sell-off we had on many commodities that did actually validate that loss of momentum we could see here. It's quite obvious on the RSI on this, so reaching that point I was actually not able to actually keep going, and it did drop quite sharply. So that was a trade that worked nicely. Of course, that breakdown did invalidate the wave count, so the wolf wave I was looking at. So just drafting it quickly here, I was looking at one move like this, another one to make another point higher, a drop here, and for last week, continuation of that move to go and reach potentially 42. I believe this is not valid anymore, at least not in that kind of manner, mainly because that breakdown is actually showing significant selling pressure at that level, and that 41 is likely to be a strong resistance and very unlikely to break that easily. So what I'll be looking at now, or maybe just before I do this, having a look at the quote report for that period. So that was the move up. We could see again another massive drop in the open interest, minus 36k, which is significant. The managed money reduced their long position once again, and we can see a fair bit of short covering on the retail traders and as well other larger funds, so that could explain that move. I was struggling, so very small, so small funds, small position closing, short covering after we broke above the 40 level, and not any really clear momentum or any large funds actually piling into that trade. So again, the trend is actually weak in my opinion. We may have seen the reversal below 41. We may have seen confirmation of that reversal with that breakdown, but the price is still holding on the daily 20 MA, so that's not a clear downtrend yet. We still need more confirmation. So what happened following that breakdown? We did actually move back up and retest that trend line, which is actually not uncommon with that kind of move. So yeah, let's have a look what we could have ahead of us. So I believe now we're having that solid resistance pushing down, and I believe the selling will be at 41. I really don't expect anything breaking higher, or we need something very special for this at the moment. And the current situation, as I explained last week, in my opinion, is mostly bearish on many points, especially the production that is likely to ramp up for the OPEC plus starting in August, so that will push and put some pressure onto the price. Also, we can see that continuous open interest dropping. Actually, the open interest was positive for the large drop we have on Thursday, but when moving at Friday and the bounce back, we can see that the open interest was that time significantly negative at minus 9k. So again, power is with the sellers at the moment, and buyers are just trying to buy the dips, but there's no conviction behind it, in my opinion. Now looking at the spread, it's still narrow, but it had actually increased a little bit. It's sitting at 0.5, so there's no proper contango in place, but it's increasing. That is definitely a concern, and potentially having some issues with supply might actually return quite soon, sooner than expected. So having said that, so should 41 be the selling, and I believe it will be, we are likely to see some more action between that point and the daily 20 MA. So believe we are going to see some pullback next week. early next week, and very likely because of the OPEC talk about ramping up production. But I believe the US will follow through for revenue reason, not exactly the same objective. But that daily 20 MA, as we can see here, is likely to hold for the time being. Sorry, move this here. Probably likely to hold, sitting a bit higher here. So we would have some 39 to be some support here, and having the price continuing to move up here along that trend line. That will take us potentially to the end of next week and maybe even beyond. So I'm not expecting massive move down, expecting something quite narrow in terms of the range, except if we get any news that could actually break down that level. Should the daily 20 MA break, then we're gonna see some acceleration to the downside and targeting the daily divergence. We can see on the daily that the divergence did actually hold quite nicely last week. No sign that we are going through, and even that peak here is still holding lower. So again, that's another proof that the momentum is still not there. We would have to see some major move up to 41, momentum picking up and reaching again above 60, 65 to invalidate that scenario. So I'll be trading short for next week, accumulating alongside that trend line, and until we actually get to break that 39 level. Should we break this, the target will remain unchanged. And we're talking about 34 as an extension, or at least potentially not a first target, but final target for the swing. It might not happen that quickly, and we might take a bit longer, potentially end of July, early August. Should we keep ranging between 39 and 40.5, keeping in mind that's a very narrow range for WTI, so it might actually not stay in there, and we might see some volatility around these prices. So yeah, that's about it for WTI. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna do some more analysis tonight, natural gas, but base metals as well, and precious metals, because I believe we're gonna see some interesting actions in the coming days and weeks. So yeah, speak to you soon, safe trade, and see you around. Cheers, bye.